Fresh ragu meat. I mean, I hope not. I hope you don't, you know.
This is the Escape Podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic. This week, we are going to find a bowl to put Zash back in while we finally get to spend some time on Belsavis. And if you listened to the end of last week's podcast, you'll know what that means. And we'll also talk about some exciting news about our favorite community manager. This broadcast astromech is EPC 239, who is over there this week for some reason. And playing alongside me is Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going?
Hey, Max. It's actually going great. We just finished up a really fun mandatory fun night. We started out at the Eyeless, and we killed him on 16-man and got like half of our conquest number for the guild just doing that, which was pretty awesome. In fact, it's a great week for conquest. It's going to be pretty easy. I'm pretty sure the guild we're going to make our target. So if you're a guild member, this is a good week to work on getting your personal target, because then you'll also get the guild rewards. Let's see what else. Oh, I started doing some farming, since now the crafting part of conquest is a little bit more involved. I decided to go out and do some farming, which I haven't done in forever. And I took my scoundrel. I have a scoundrel that's been in mothballs for a while, and I took him out. He does archaeology, so I was getting the mats for artifice and synth weaving. But the reason I did that is because I thought, well, if I have to kill anything, then it'd be fun to have a character that could benefit from the XP. So that was actually pretty fun. So I was going from planet to planet trying to keep track of which mats are where. And I put together enough mats to make 15 holocrons of strategy or crystal capacitors, but not both. Not 15 of both. Which is funny because, we have other guildies that were like, oh yeah, I'm ready. I can make hundreds of those. I'm like, okay, all right. But I'm happy with my 15.
That'll work.
Yes, and then after that Eyeless, then we went and spent some time in Gods from the Machine again, just to give a little bit of a what's that expression? Not heads up, but anyway.
Head start.
Head start to ops teams that are going to be working on Isaacs this week. And then our news from LOL last week. What, did we say this already? No, because So we actually did down Isaacs on Thursday last week. So yay, we did that.
Yes. Which is awesome.
I'm thinking that I don't know what our plans are for LOL this week, but it would be nice if we would maybe go kill a couple bosses on the pub side, so our one pub team that meets on Monday nights could have a little advance, whatever. Why are you laughing?
Look behind us.
Oh.
Did you see that guy? He's gone now. Is type 4 body type dude with no clothes on, whose name was Big Fat Streaker, just ran around behind us.
I'm relieved you weren't laughing at my idea.
No, we will certainly do that. I think that's a great idea. Oh, there he goes.
He streaked by.
What is he doing? That is hilarious.
There he is again. Well, everyone has a hobby. There he goes.
Okay, so yes, this has been a good week. We did kill Isaacs with our Thursday night team. I think one of our other teams, our Sunday night team, has also killed Isaacs. So we've got 2 more teams that are still working on him, trying to get him a little bit of a head start. I agree, Seema is a great idea. So hey, hopefully we can do that, especially for our Republic team, because they haven't had much help getting through those early bosses. Typically, our read teams window box the time they have available on a given night to a maximum of 2 hours or an hour and 45 minutes by the time you start up and shut down. And that's just not a lot of time for this operation, which is quite a long operation.
And that's what we mean by help, is just getting a few bosses out of the way, because they don't need help with those bosses. They're fine, but it's just so that they don't have to do them on their
Yeah.
their brief amount of time that they have. Yeah.
The real problem with Isaacs, which we've talked about, is it's like a 15-minute fight, and until you see a phase, it's difficult to explain and get used to it and get used to where you need to go, even if you watch a video. So giant orange circles spawn, 12 minutes into the fight, and you have to deal with them. So you do 12, 12, 13, 14 minutes. You get to that phase. You take a look. A couple of people die. You wipe. So fine. Now you got to start it over. Well, you just blew another 15, 20 minutes of your night. So you got to do it again. Okay, and now here's the next phase. This is what Skyva looks like. These are what the mines look like. Try to tether some of those mines off. Try to get those tether droids down. Oh, we didn't really get the focus on those. We'll change our strat up a little bit, and there's another 20 minutes gone. Yay!
Right.
So it is a long process to learn that fight. So we'll hopefully get the rest of the teams a little bit of a head start. Hello, chicken eyelids showing up in our window here. And I also did have some fun this week, and we'll talk a little bit about it, especially while we're playing around here on Belsavis. How Conquest is going, what we're doing around Conquest, how we're making our targets, what our guild is doing around targets. We talked about it a little bit last week, and that is continuing to evolve. And I've got a really cool resource to show that B. Kavanaugh put together for our guild, which is a spreadsheet, one of my favorite things. And it shows a lot about how to go about getting your personal conquest targets, and those contribute to the guild targets as well. We just did ILIS tonight for our 16-man mandatory fun night in AIE, which got us 2/3 of the way, or 3/4 of the way through our guild invasion target. So we still picked small. We're probably going to continue to pick small until May, and but we one shot knocked most of it out, so that was pretty fun. So that is what I have been doing. I wonder what else has been going on.
Now an Imperial News Network report.
Couple things in the news, not too much. One, there is a PvP thread. We did get a couple notes in from Eric that they are watching that PvP thread closely. The key to that thread was, it was started by someone saying, okay, here's a suggestion. Don't add a deserter timeout in this meta. And the meta is the sort of all the rules and balance around how PvP is working within a season. So they're saying we don't like deserter timeouts. There's legitimate reasons for deserter timeouts, and this person listed a whole bunch of them out. A bunch of people chimed in, yes, no, here's our views on it. I think there should be deserter timeouts for ranked PvP because there's bad behavior you want to protect against in ranked. For non-ranked, I'm fine with no deserter timeouts. My opinion aside, Eric popped in and said, this is the kind of thread that they do look at and they are watching and can respond to it potentially with updates or changes as they're designing the next wave of PvP and the next season. So that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it had some nice, thoughtful answers, which is helpful. Speaking of news, Eric had some news this week, and that is that he's going to be out of town for about 3 weeks, and that's because he's getting married. So congratulations to Eric and the missus, and I hope they have a great time.
Yeah, that's very cool. So our shout out to Eric. It's a tough job being a community manager. He's lasted longer, I think, than any community managers have at BioWare for SWTOR.
At many
ever.
games.
Yeah, of many games. He's in a tough position. He's sort of the punching bag for, I would imagine, I'm guessing, so we know he's a punching bag for the community. And he's the messenger, and we know what happens to messengers. They get shot. So he takes that for the team on the community side, and I bet he takes, he's sort of in a tough position internally too, because what the other side of his job is to take all the feedback that's coming from the community and try to harangue and hound the developers and the producers and the designers with all that feedback on the other side. And I'm sure they're pushing back and giving him trouble from coming at it from that way. So great job to continue to do as well as he has done with that role and keep the attitude that he's been able to keep over the years. So I appreciate him for that. And I wish him well as well in his time off, a little bit of a recharge. Hopefully he doesn't reevaluate his life too much and we don't lose him coming out of this. Guys, I spent 3 weeks off and nobody yelled at me, and people were nice to me.
Yes.
I
Maybe he'll decide not to come back.
See ya. So
Oh my gosh.
also in the
He
news,
finds out there is life,
yes.
life outside of SWTOR.
Also in the
That would be bad.
news, there's a conquest feedback thread that's going on, and this is another one that they chimed in on, and Eric made comments in to say, we are still reading the thread about conquest changes. We can see some of the conquest changes potentially, or at least a different spin on conquest in some small ways this week. They are going to be instituting a fairly large set of changes with 5.9. So 5.9 is in 2 weeks-ish on May 1st. That will have some additional conquest changes that they hope sort of tweak what the new model is. I have still heard feedback from some of the older hardcore conquest guilds who aren't all that fond of the changes. In fact, some of those guilds have lost some members that just didn't like the new model as much, didn't get to play the way they liked to play before. We'll talk a little bit about, though, what we're doing with our guild and how it's sort of, in general, been sort of nice for our guild in a few different ways. So we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But that's about it for the news. In guild and community, Isaac's hunting continues. Good luck to all you teams out there that are going after Isaac's. Really good luck to all the teams that are trying to down Isaac's in veteran mode, because that's going to be quite tough.
Yeah.
And you've got about 2 more weeks or so before the extra bonus achievement for downing Isaac's within this window before 5.9 in veteran mode happens. So look forward to hearing guilds doing that. And we'll talk more about the spreadsheet in a little bit, which I have on my list too. How about the guild? What are we doing?
So this week, I already talked about Conquest a little bit. We are focusing on the imp side this week, and we will be doing the same next week. So next week, MFN and Conquest focus will be on the imp side. So MFN being the April 24th.
Chicken eyelids. Have you ever actually seen a chicken? He's doing the chicken dance.
Oh, he's doing that.
Which is the quote from Arrested Development.
Yes.
Where those dances were introduced. So yeah, we are continuing to rotate back and forth between Imperial and Republic for our mandatory fun night, and rotating Conquest at the same time. So this will be another Imperial week next week. We'll have to see how Conquest shakes out, but we'll get that going. And chat room, shout out to the chat room. We had a little bit of extra fun time before the podcast started this week. I did a stream of our mandatory fun night. I haven't streamed regular gameplay in quite a while, so that was just us goofing around for our mandatory fun night. So I got a little bit of that in there. Chat room's been sticking around from there, so people have been around there for a while. Definitely helping out, getting us all set up. I will catch up with all of you after, and I have some codes, so look forward to that after the show. But for now, let's see, who can we hear from? I guess we've got Kembal here in his non-Zash voice telling us what we're going to be doing tonight.
Jinasiwe ja alaize nam nadize. Ustapain ICJ in alam is frumadine habans.
I like the extra long recordings from them. So we are on Belsavis, finally. So if you listen to the very end, the long tail end of our podcast last week, we were playing through the interlude between Hoth and Belsavis, which just went so much longer than I expected. We were waiting for Zash to stop talking, and she just would not. Bonus points if you got the movie reference in my opening shot where I talked about a bowl to put Zash in. If you got that, you can tell me tell me afterwards on Twitter. But we are going to try to keep Zash locked up and away from us while we adventure a little bit here on Belsavis and get some exploration in on this beautiful planet, which I really like from a scenery and from a landscape perspective, except for all the murderers. I mean, you do have mobs running around here that are basically named psychotic murder
Yeah,
and
it
things
is
like that.
kind of a murdery place. It's
It's
true.
kind of murdery. All right, so we gotta go. Let's hit the map. Did you already go ahead a little bit, Seema? So do I need to?
I did not.
Okay.
I stopped at the. Actually, I don't. Yeah.
All right, then let's go this way because this is where the prison break Seema. No, that's Seema. I have to find the guard captain. Oh no, this is what we got to do next. Yeah, find the guard captain. You've journeyed to the ancient Rakata prison world of Belsavis in pursuit of the secret to controlling your volatile power. So remember, we tried to confront, what's his name? Darth Thanaton. Darth Thanaton? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Darth
we
Thanaton.
tried to confront Thanaton, and the power of the Force ghosts that we ate in our belly overwhelmed us. So now we're trying to control that power, and supposedly there's something here that is going to help us. So we got to find this guard captain and something Nikto game and gang and yada yada yada. Let's just go. As we go, hey Frisia Star.
Yes, and he's in a tracksuit.
Oh, is that? Oh, is this Zen? That's not a tracksuit.
No, it's BC.
That's BC. That's not a tracksuit. That's a
I beg to
sassy.
differ.
That's a tracksuit.
Well, it is in SWTOR.
Oh, maybe a different kind of track. Maybe like a pod racing track.
It's a relaxed tracksuit because he's wearing it around his waist. The jacket.
Oh, so that is a tracksuit jacket. It's just, I see. It would look totally Boris wearing the tracksuit-ish if it was up on the shoulders. Got it. Rift lurkers. Hello, Rift lurkers. So we have been doing conquest with our guild, and that's what we'll talk a little bit about as we're going. The fun part, the upside to the redesign for Conquest that most of us are agreeing with is this idea of the small, medium, and large target from a guild perspective. What it provides us the ability to do for our guild is to say, hey, now we know what we have to do. We know what our target is. We know what it's going to take, and we can set a path to getting there. We can make a plan and see it through, which is nice. So we've done that. We've done that the last couple of weeks. We put it in like an extra fun night. We did some stuff on Friday. Everybody does a thing. We get people their personal targets. We get the guild its guild target, and it's worked out pretty well. So that part of it is positive.
And not only that, I mean, once you do make your target, you can take Sunday and Monday off, basically. Well, you can always take Monday off, but Sunday off. And by taking it off, I meant that's when I started thinking, well, maybe I'll do some farming and get ready for the next week.
Right. You're done with the guild, and then you're right, and you don't have to worry about which we were worrying about when we're trying to be on the board in the top 10 to get a guild reward. You don't have to worry about staying up Sunday night or waking up at 5 a.m. on Monday morning to see if some other guild bumped you off the board and put up some last minute points and blah blah blah. The stress of that is gone. And if you want to continue to conquest, you can get a conquest target on another character. If you want to go off and do something else, you can do that. It's nice that way. All right, let's go in here and talk to the guard captain. Hello, guard captain. Who's that standing next to the guard captain? This is not the guard captain. What's going on?
He looks like a guard captain to me.
How come I don't have a thing to click on?
I don't know. I do.
Find the guard. Oh, is this am I in yours?
Oh, maybe.
Let's go out. Sorry.
Oh, I probably ran in first. Dumb me.
Or I did not run in ahead of you. Dumb me. No, you are.
I just saw green and I went, oh.
Max, create. Yes, I will create.
Yes, I will join.
Did you join? Did it work? Am I not? Am I? Oh,
Yeah.
here we go.
Cough it up.
No, I'm
Every
here.
name, every date, every blasted key.
I don't have the. I don't know what you're
I
talking
don't, I don't, I don't,
Cattle run the
That was
slaughterhouse
awesome.
now, partner. Don't play dumb.
Oh, that prisoner list. Of course. Right here.
That was good voice acting. Excuse me, folks. Give it to me. Release him. Give it to me.
I'll be taking that list. Right. Sorry, Sith. You want the list? It's yours. We'll just be going.
Yeah, we'll be getting out of your way. Don't hurt us, please.
Proper deference. I appreciate that. I don't have to lightning
I
you.
don't know why you bothered. You're just gonna kill me like all the others, aren't you?
Probably. Others. That's...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Last I checked, it was your empire that opened all the cages. Let freaks like them out. I just hope my family made it out of here alive. But you don't care, do you?
Nope.
What is it you want anyway?
I want a group of Nikto tech savants, criminals. Why am I
The
telling this guy
Circle.
anything?
I'm told they know a thing or two about strange tech.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember them. Ran off into one of those big vaults a few days ago to do whatever it is they do. Don't know if they're still alive, though.
Thank you. Oh, here we go. Dark side choice. You've served your purpose.
I am most grateful.
Bye.
Ooh, I didn't lightning him. I lightsabered him. That's new and refreshing.
For a change.
Okay,
A little
find the
change of
circle.
pace.
Okay, that was the guild perspective on Conquest. What's your personal perspective on the Conquest updates, Seema?
Well, one of the things I like, I was just talking to Tetsumi about this earlier today at Guildie, is that, I mean, I like the old system where on some of the weeks you could do the heroic, like you could do all the heroic missions on Nar Shaddaa, for instance. Now we have a similar version, but you get credit for doing just one heroic. So really, you can get some points by just doing like playing for 5 minutes if that's all the time you have that day, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really nice and convenient. And you can do the same thing the next day usually, and or you can do a different one, or you can do one on one character and one on another character and one on another character, I believe.
Yeah. But only
yeah,
one per
but-
day.
Right, only one per day. So yeah, that's one thing I like about it.
Yeah, the daily lockout and the weekly lockout on the objectives being all legacy is both mostly a little bit of a downside, I would say. 'Cause
Yeah, I think so.
the problem there is if you wanted to do two characters this week, in like some weeks
can't.
it was almost impossible, unless you
Right.
wanted to like get it, do three things and get your conquest target on your first character, and then do 50 GSF matches to get your conquest target on your second character.
Right.
You
Right, like in the old days, if I wanted to, I could take one character and do all the heroics on Nar Shaddaa, and take another character and do all the heroics on Nar Shaddaa, and take another character and do all the heroics on Nar Shaddaa.
And sure, it
Those
was
days are
grindy and that kind of thing, but you could, if you wanted to
It was an option.
take some time, you could. The other thing that I find a little bit problematic about it, we got to get out of here. This is one of those areas that's going to be frustrating in Belsavis, where you try to find your way from point A to point B and realize you have to loop all the way around.
Right, it's a wall.
If you want to play, for 5 minutes a day and get your target and do those dailies, yes, you're golden, you're set. If you want to save up all your 5 minutes and you only have one day to play this week, and you would prefer to play for 2 hours one day and get it all done, you sort of can't.
Right.
Because a lot of those daily targets is once per legacy per day, and you can't like save up the the daily lockouts. Although that's a great idea. There, I just invented a new strategy. You get 7 daily lockouts for the week, so you could do it 7 times, and you could do it all at once, or you could do it once per day. What if that was a solution?
Yeah,
I think that's a
that,
great idea.
yeah. I was surprised when, you know how there's the rampage style objectives where you kill 100
Yep.
non-player characters on a planet. I was surprised the first time I saw that reset after a day. Because I was thinking, oh, I'll do agree daily every day, and at near the end, I'll see if I've got 100. No, it doesn't work that way.
I think, in my view, that's broken.
The part that's really broken about that to me is that we don't know when it resets, or at least I don't.
We're really going the wrong way. Sorry.
Like today, we found out. I mean, I did a Rakghoul tunnel mission earlier today and got conquest points for it. Then when we killed the Eyeless, people turned in the quest for the Eyeless and they were getting credit for that particular conquest thing. And I'm like, oh, too bad I already did one. And I thought, well, let me check. And sure enough, it had reset between this afternoon and this evening. So I don't get that.
So, right. I think there are some bugs that are resetting things at the wrong time. In fact, I think there are some bugs where people, and I saw a little bit of discussion in a couple forums where people were talking about ways to sort of try to force that reset that shouldn't be resetting that way. And in an unattended way, that seems a little bit, not actionable exploity, but a little bit exploity from my perspective. They were saying, well, first you do this, and then you log in on another character without doing this, and then, here's a flow chart for how you can make those conquest objectives reset. And they're not supposed to. It's supposed to be once per legacy per day. So that's confusing. The other thing that's confusing is the other part that I agree is probably broken is if I'm supposed to kill 100 for the weekly or 100 for the daily or whatever, and I do 50 in one day, I shouldn't go back down to 0 the next day. It should stay at 50, and that's how that used to work when it was
right. When it was 250.
When it was 250 the way previous conquest used to work. So I think they broke something there. So hopefully they're going to fix that for 5.9. Okay, this way. This is the way we go.
I follow you.
Yeah, see, these guys are. The mob is just named Killer, Rioter.
Killer.
Gang leader, killer, murderer. I think there are murderers around here too. Murder droid, that's still one of my favorite mob names. Fractals. Look at this Belsavis fractal.
I like Dread Monster.
Dread Monster. Oh boy. Is this... Oh yeah, no, here we go. We can go around here. I think we got to come in on this side. Minimum security section.
I mean, along with everybody, I was floored by the change to crafting when it first came out, but apparently I've adjusted to it now.
Right. So the idea that, and this is what have broke some of those hardcore conquest guilds. The ones that especially planned for and focused on the crafting weeks, being able to stack up a whole bunch of kinds of mat, or a whole bunch of grade 7 and 8 mats specifically. 7 and 8, 7 and 8 and 9, 7 and 8, I think, right?
And I think it was 8 and 9.
8 and 9, but anyway, not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Right.
For one, and for two, be able to stack up a huge stack of them, and have everybody in the guild getting 1 million points because they could have these huge stacks to go through and play with. So that for one broke the way things work a little bit for those guilds, and the other thing was being able to do things like run an operation on each of your characters. So they would do special guild nights where, like 3 nights a week, they would all get on their alts and they would switch off and they would run an operation on each of the alts, and they would have a lot of fun doing that and plan that out. And now if that's only once per legacy and they can't do that, in some ways, although it was grindy and weird from the outside perspective, that was like
But
the fun.
it was their MFN.
That was the content. And they had a whole sort of schedule and design around it, and it sort of ruined that. So that was sort of problematic a little bit too. Now I get the design goals and because of trying to get what they're trying to do in taking away the grind to some degree, it's changed that for those guilds that were relying on the grind to sort of be part of the fun of it. For everyone else that couldn't really participate because the grind was too much of a grind, now you are a little bit more competitive.
I think it has reinvigorated Conquest for our guild. I mean, because we were never going to be first anyway.
Right.
And
Why is this guy not
now we
visible?
can reliably make our target. And I don't know, it's just inspired everyone to work together. And it's been great.
Yeah. Oops. I'm gonna.
And hopefully there's more. Maybe that's a good result. Maybe there's more guilds like ours. Maybe that covers more players than the Conquest guilds cover. I don't know. I literally don't know.
Right. And I don't want to sacrifice their gameplay for ours necessarily, but if it's better for the whole
I
game
don't either.
overall, or if there's a way to do both, that might be interesting. All right, let's talk to this guy. I turned up the volume. Bolin here. What do you got to say, Bolin?
300 transistors, 300. Sweet stuff, man, sweet stuff.
Sweet.
Hey, what's this? You bring something juicy? Processor chip? Crazy Sith crystal tech? We'll trade for shuttle passes. No, just kidding. We love it here. Some real crazy tech. The droids don't even speak basic.
These guys are hilarious. Nicto Slicers.
Are you the ones that call yourselves the Circle?
You got it. Circle like circuit. Everything's connected. The galaxy is one big machine and all our cells are like tiny little droids. Hear that? Bzzz. Sweet electrical music. Could listen to that all day. You need something?
This guy's a freak and I like it.
I need you to examine some writings for me and build me the thing they describe.
If you think it, we can build it. Let me have a look.
What kind of alien is this? I don't know what
That's
this is
some
called.
crazy looking diagram. But I'm pretty sure we can help. Of course, last time we helped one of you, she did something for us, yeah?
Freakish monstrosities. They won't talk to us like that. We are Sith.
Taking the dark side choice. Guess what it is? A little bit of lightning.
I don't need to take nonsense from you.
It's too bad. I like him.
All right. Cost my life's feelings to get a basic language chip in my brain. I don't need it fried. This is a state-of-the-art slicing hub in the making. Belsavis security protocols, HoloNet, we want it all. The vault blows up our signal, makes it huge. Unbelievable. But we need a relay to carry it off-world. Go galactic or go home. You clear us out a spot for our relay and protect it while we hook in. We'll help you with your mystery machine.
Fine.
This is beneath me, but I'll do it.
You do this for us. The circle will be
That was
everywhere.
good.
You won't regret it.
All right. Circle dude. So we got a little... Gotta do a little bit of work for these guys. Hey, why is that one ancient war droid just standing there? Do you see this guy?
Yes, I do see him. I wonder that too.
He's just standing there. Hello.
I think he's there and not there.
He is a Schrodinger droid.
Yeah, yes.
Alright, well, we'll let him just do his thing. And we'll go clear out this spot to plant and defend the galactic relay. So the other thing I wanted here, let me turn the volume back down while we're talking a little bit. I need like a key bind for my volume control. I want to mute it completely, but so B. Kavanaugh is an awesome guildie of ours. He has done some work to start creating a spreadsheet which is tracking all the new Conquest objectives that come with each week of Conquest. So he's got 2 of the weeks done so far. He's got the Flashpoint Havoc that had happened last week, and Rakghoul Resurgence on Corellia that happened this week. So here, let me pop it up on the screen real quick. So what this spreadsheet does is it allows you to put in your Stronghold bonus, how many characters you want to do Conquest on, and then what you've completed and what you haven't, and it shows you what's repeatable, what all of the activities are, the activity type, and the base points, and then your multiplied final points based on how many times you can do it. So now you can map out, given this, what you want to do for your week and how many characters you want to do it on and what your goal is. Really cool little spreadsheet here that he did, which I really like.
So you can look at that and say, okay, I want to have one character meet my goal, and I only want to do crafting. Then it will tell you, then you need to, it'll tell you how many things you need to craft, or if that's even possible that week. Or if I only want to do heroic missions or operations or flashpoints.
Yeah. Yep. So very cool that way. We have it in our guild Discord. It's pinned in Discord for anybody in an AIE guild that wants to take a look at it. BC's thinking about trying to find some other place to put it as well to make it more public if you are not an AIE. But hey, if you're not an AIE, maybe you should be. So there you go.
Yeah, maybe. Yes.
AIE-guild.org.
Join AIE.
Find us
we
on
have spreadsheets.
Starforge and get our spreadsheets. Join our guild. We have spreadsheets. This is the best recruiting message ever. We really know.
The kind of sad thing is this is not the first spreadsheet. We'd have lots of spreadsheets.
For one, and for two, the kind of people who join AIE do love this kind of thing. So
yes, you're right.
This is actually the right message for our kind of people. So
right.
So there you go. All right, it looks like we have to go to 3 different relay sites here. They're right around the corner here. Well, I say right around the corner, but we're probably going to have to go the opposite way around the planet to get there, because we know how these walls on Belsavis work. I complain about this, but I keep running into this. I've run into this in WoW. I've run into this in ESO. It seems like game designers just like to do it that way, just to break up the map and not just have a big open field where you run from point to point.
Right. I mean, if it's too easy, then you get accused of being on rails.
Yeah. But I feel like if it's too convoluted, it feels a little bit on rails also. If every hill, if there's no hill you can walk over, that always feels a little bit weird to me. What was Warhammer Online?
That's right.
Warhammer Online was really bad that way. And it definitely felt on rails because it was so limited in the path that you could walk. You definitely got that on rail. I'm stunned. I hate being stunned. Okay. We only had to do one of them? One of the 3 locations? I guess we only had to do one of the 3 locations. Now we're done. Oh, I bioanalyzed that guy. You gonna yell at me?
I see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this too. Get it quick, get it from her. Oh, another one over. Oh, I don't have that. What is that? That's not bioanalysizable. What are my skills? What are my trade skills? Biochem, bioanalysis, and diplomacy. Oh, I'm definitely a diplomat on this character. Little diplomacy with lightning.
Yes, that's a very classic combo.
Ooh, look at these Thranta type things. They're like sailfish.
Yeah, those are cool.
Thranta. Why don't I have one of those? The heck, man. I need one of those. I need a little mini one of those as a pet.
The heck?
The heck do you mean, Jerry? Aggressive negotiations. Aggressive alliance? Guild of spreadsheets. We should have spreadsheets in our guild name in some way.
Yes. And it's not surprising that we do have people playing in Eve. Eve, which is sometimes called spreadsheets in space.
Yes. And I was just saying earlier in the chat room, I do have a spreadsheet for everyone with a multi-tab spreadsheet for every one of the games I play. SWTOR is actually one of my most complicated spreadsheets of all the games. I have a pivot table. I have this complex pivot table for when I was doing a lot of the crafting of the. What was I doing? I gotta look that up again. I think it was optimizing the crafting of decorations and or the prefabs and that kind of stuff. All right, we go back in here and talk to these crazy guys.
Crazy guys.
Crazy guys. Here's that war droid.
The Nyctos.
He's still just hanging out. Hello, war droid. He's walking around.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Why is my mark of power running out? Did I just cast it on you again and not on me? Why can't I cast mark of power on myself? What is going on? It's not working. Something is broken. I can't target myself and cast my class buffs. Regardless.
I don't know why. Because I can.
So here, let me even turn one off. Oh, it won't refresh the old ones. Why is it not refreshing the old ones? Well, there. Now they're all refreshed. Let's talk to Bolin again. What's up, Bolin?
Nice work on the beacon. Guess we owe you some info, huh? That diagram's ancient alien tech, all right. Never seen it in my life. But Grokan saw something like this part here in the Republic labs.
Chobot I kafstuan bile jihulo kuta.
There's rumors of the kind of crazy stuff those aliens built deeper in the prison. Advanced AIs, self-healing droids, living cities. You said this is some kind of healing device. I can kind of see that. Hard to say, though, without a scan. Them Rakata freaks built some twisted stuff.
Where?
What was the place your friend said he saw it?
Republic Labs. If you can scan that device, we can get you a better idea of what this thing is and how it works. Here, data chip. It'll reprogram the Republic security droids in the area to open up the lab so you can get in and scan the device.
Let's hope you're right about that.
Or some
How do
more
you think
shocking.
the Empire caused this break, huh? I had these droids figured from day one. Take this with you. It'll let us analyze the Rakata prize without you having to drag it back here, yeah? Just watch the prisoners in the area. They're meaner than most.
He's so excited.
Yes, I like him. Prison break complete. I completed something. Except... What level am I? 48. What level are you, Seema?
50.
Dang it.
You'll never catch me.
What did I say I was going to do? I was going to like go fly GSF or something until I got to 51. And then I would yell, ha ha, really loud. Hey, somebody's killing trash in front of us. Cool. Let's force speed our way out of here then. Where's my force speed? It's not on the right key.
The other thing I did with the farming is I took my 50 influence companion and I just on that character happens to be Nico. I just send Nico after the mobs and go, you know, hit the node, and by the time I'm done with the node, he's killed the mobs.
Yep. Yeah, that's handy. The other thing that companions can do is if there's a node that's kind of close to mobs, but that that you're just on the edge of getting, if you send your companion to go farm that mob, they will.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sometimes they don't aggro. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Right, because they'll stop at the farthest possible point just because that's what they're sort of programmed to do.
They're just more precise.
Yeah, so they're very precise, and it's not like you take an extra step forward and aggroing the mob, so I find that really useful too. Yeah, I like using my companions for that. The other thing is
And
I have
the other thing about O2 if you haven't bought it already, I would recommend getting the thing where you can mount while running. It's
yes.
so much fun when you're farming.
Yeah, that is totally useful. It's you don't realize how useful it is until you get it. In fact, I did not get it. I resisted buying it or just didn't pay attention to it for a couple months after it came out. And then when I finally got it, I was thinking, how did I ever live without this?
I mean, I know we we periodically profess our love for that feature, but just farming, it's really cool because you hit the node, then you start running, and while you're running, you're mounting up, and then you hit the next node, and then you're running and mounting, and hit the next node.
Yep. It's awesome. My main gathering character is my other Sork who has bioanalysis and archaeology and scavenging. What I'll also find that's really useful is if you get two nodes that are right next to each other, one scavenging and one bioanalysis, you click on one, your companion will start scavenging that one, and you shift click or just click again if your companion is busy, and your
Right.
character will start gathering one, and you can gather two at the same time.
Or when you come up on your vehicle, click it, and then you'll scavenge it, but your companion will show up,
Yep.
and then you send your companion on the second one.
Yep. And yeah, then they're free to do whatever on the second one. Exactly. I also, with scavenging is a great one because, well, and bioanalysis, because you can have mobs that you're fighting. So any of the strongs or strongs or above, if you're killing two strongs right next to each other, you're going to be scavenging pairs of things at the same time anyway. So it's a handy to be doing them both at once.
Yeah, that is one of the things about archaeology is you don't have that.
Right.
You can never scavenge a mob
The update
for
that they
archaeology
made
maps.
so that the artifact fragments and power crystals also dropping from color crystal nodes, that's definitely,
That was a huge help.
yeah, that's a huge help for archaeologists. Because back in the old days it did not, and you had to wade through all the stupid color crystal things, which you didn't care about, to get to the few power crystal nodes and archaeology fragment nodes that you needed to actually you actually wanted, that you were supposed to be gathering. All right, what am I doing here? Just kill some of this trash. Subdue the first mecha security droid. Oh, that sounds ominous. Oh, did you see Kemval just waste that astromech?
Yeah.
He totally destroyed that astromech. So Squishy's asking in the chat room, do they have many new account-wide unlocks planned in the near future? So there's two kinds of unlocks to mention. You're probably talking about the things on your legacy tab that you can, as like character or legacy abilities, or maybe you're talking about the other kind. So no, I haven't heard any of those. The other kind that we were talking about earlier today that we're waiting for is the legacy unlock for all the new stuff that we bought in the cartel market. That did get mentioned by Eric, that's something that they'll look into, because we are in need of a unlock for legacy of my cartel items sale, which they do have every once in a while. Speaking of which, here's the first mecha security droid. What did you buy in the sale, which is done and not done, kind of?
Well, I think I mentioned this last week, but I bought PB Time, which is a dance that I've wanted like forever and a day. But it's been very rare on the GTN, and when it crops up is way more than I wanted to spend, so I got that. I also bought a Wampa companion. I was deciding between that and the Holo Rancor.
Mm-hmm.
But the Wampa was like 65 million credits on the GTN, and yeah, and 2,400 cartel coins or something like that. Anyway, it worked out better to do the Wampa than whatever the other thing was I was considering. So I got the Wampa. I haven't leveled up his influence yet, but he is freaking huge. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah, that's a pretty cool companion. I didn't end up getting anything on the sale. Partly because I procrastinated,
Oh,
partly because
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
partly because I do buy stuff off the GTN pretty regularly that I'm looking for out of cartel packs. So where were we supposed to
Yeah,
have
see, I didn't know I wanted the PBJ time until it was already, not current anymore.
oh, it's this way. I haven't done many of the dances. They haven't really been a thing I've been looking for, so I don't have PBJ time, and I'm not all that sad that I don't. I'm not Apollos, one of our officers who I think has every dance. Hey,
Well, I think what
why are you
Apple
healing me, Seema?
does or did for a long time is whenever he got his monthly coins, he would buy crates.
Yeah, and a lot of those, especially the emotes, were something that would show up pretty often in the crates.
Yeah.
So in fact, some of the emotes that I have,
But he was always turning up
with
with a new mount too.
he would he's gotten me some of the emotes. In fact, he's gifted me some.
Yeah, I just can't buy the crates.
I've never bought a crate. I'm not a gambling fan. You know how our
I have
life
bought the
feels
crates and it
about
was not
RNG.
fun. It was not fun. I didn't like getting oh my gosh, I got like space mission XP bonus boost. You know,
right.
puce and terrible color dye.
And the Rhodian mayo sandwich.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just don't have the kind of faith that makes me think, oh, I'm going to do that again because next time it'll just be something cool.
Right. No.
So
neither
what's
do I.
the result is Apple has all this cool stuff, and I have to wait like 5 years until there's a sale.
Okay, scan the Ricotta machine. So we've knocked out all the security droids we could be doing. Oh wait, if we just destroy one more droid, we're done with the bonus. Or I am done with the bonus. Nah, that's too much work. All right, one more. It's wafer thin. Okay, got the bonus. Scan the machine. Strange science is what this is called. You sure it's not weird? Oh, hold on. Let me pump the volume. Pump up the jam a bit more so everybody can hear. Of course, it's just Ricotta speak, so I'm going to have to read it to you anyway. Oh. What's this? Another Sith in search of the heart of Belsavis? Turn back. You have been warned. I am watching. There you go. Who are you?
Who exactly is watching?
Say no more. You have been warned.
We got your signal loud and clear, Sid. This thing's insane. There are measures and dimensions we didn't know existed. It's like those Ricotta freaks were taking existing species and picking and choosing useful parts. Modular life form adaptation. You can't make this stuff up. Your dog wasn't after medicine. He was after mutation.
Interesting.
What kind of mutation?
Can't say. This device doesn't have data on force-sensitive species. There must be another one of these around somewhere.
Now a tweetby. Kus number knee.
You know what that means.
That's coming.
Okay, jack me a satellite and trace it. Let's follow this
Well.
bird home. Huts warts, this thing's huge.
Huts
Let's
warts.
abandon
Huts
it.
warts.
And it's still running. This has to be the thing you're looking for.
Then let's move.
We can't waste any more time.
No, we
Let me
can't.
see. Looks like blast. Quarantine zone. The air in that place is deadly. Hold on. We're trying to get you a security override. But be
Keep
careful.
yelling.
If that crazy alien machine thing's running, someone had to start it up.
The guy only has one volume.
Yeah.
I really like this technology, and I can't control the volume of my voice. All right. Well, regardless, that's a ricotta machine. Now we get to enter the quarantine zone next time, because that's in another zone.
Next time.
And we are not going to go for an hour and a half tonight and not get ourselves into a situation where
Where we have
like
to be mad at Lady Vash for
Lady
just telling us
Zash,
stuff.
Yeah, for talking
Yes.
and talking.
Zash. Getting my games mixed up there.
And not have to find a bowl for us to say Edwina Backenbowl too. There's another clue to my movie reference. So we are done for tonight, and it is time for EPC 239 to pack up, get in an escape pod, and broadcast that podcast to all of you. So thanks everyone for joining us. Please keep up with us on Twitter at Max the Gray and at AIESEMA. If you know of anybody that should be playing with AIE the Guild, please send them our way. They can find us at aie-guild.org. They can check out our podcast on YouTube and subscribe on YouTube, because that helps us out, see who's actually watching us there. And they can come find us on Starforge and ask us for an AIE Guild invite. We would love to have them. And we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.
Later.